Call her law Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakakwadash, Shalom to my elder brother over here at this congregation, Sharayad, Shalom to all the elders of the Israelite nation who rule well, namely the elder apostles over at the Great Millstone Church. Peace and many blessings to the elect scattered amongst the earth, namely you brothers that I personally labor with, to all you true believers out there of the Israelite race. So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 20. It reads, "He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good. And whosoever trusteth in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, happy is he." So this message is out to Israel, the Israelites, being us so-called black people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Seminole Indian people scattered amongst the earth, and chiefly to those of us who have come into this truth, who have come into the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and are currently walking according to the true doctrine of the scriptures. So I'm going to read it again. Proverbs 16 and 20, it reads, "He that handleth a matter wisely shall find good." So this is a scripture on a topic of your behavior, your actions, your dealings, your conduct, which is a major topic throughout the scriptures. And a lot of times these scriptures are overlooked in a time of action, speaking of when they are needed to be applied. So again, he that handleth a matter wisely shall find good. So to deal wisely brings forth goodness. And to be wise is to perform the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Thus you trusting in the Lord, you trusting in these words. Therefore, not only are you learning these words, you're actually doing them at all times, in all situations, in all matters. Situations come and you can't ever resort back to your own mind, which is a very deceitful place. You have to lean on the Lord with all your understanding. He's going to direct your paths. That's called being prudent. The prudent man is looking well to his goings, to his future. So in his present actions, they're always going to be equating to what? Getting him into that future, which we all have come into this truth seeking, which is what? Salvation. We want to be saved. We want mercy to be upon us. So in our everyday dealings and our everyday goings, we have to keep Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in our minds and allow his word, the knowledge we're learning, to direct us, to guide us. Therefore, us moving and being wise in our actions and our behavior. Simply put, our conduct. So moving forward, it's the book of Romans, chapter 10. In the 17th verse, it reads, "So then faith, which is your belief, your faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai." So, as stated, faith is your belief, which you learn by hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So hearing the true doctrine, hearing the scriptures in its true, in its true form, which is proving a point that I want to make in this video, is the fact that hearing is a vital skill to have to perform efficiently and effectively. To perform this word efficiently and effectively, you got to be able to hear. You can't shut down your hearing ever. You always got to be willing to hear first so you can actually go forth to judge correctly, no matter what situation you're in, because that's ultimately what we're being set up to do. We're being set up so we can have sound judgment. Not hearing someone at all, how could you actually make a judgment on what's being said? Is a lot of times you can miss something by thinking that you already know something. So you always have to have your ears active, your hearing active, so you can actually take in matters and understand them and make a sound judgment based upon that. Once again, Proverbs 16:20, he that handleth a matter wisely shall find good. And whoso trusteth in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, happy is he. So it comes down to hearing. Romans 10:17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Come to the book of Sirach, chapter 6, and it's the 35th verse. It reads, be willing to hear every godly discourse. So you got to be willing to hear, especially every godly discourse. Of course, there's things that you're going to shut down. But if it's a godly discourse, if it's coming about these scriptures, and it's coming from a man you may perceive to be, of God, in his truth, actually one who has gone forth to completely forsake this world and actually stand up for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They're worthy to be heard. They're worthy to be listened to. They're worthy to be dealt with correctly, and not to just be shooed to the side instantly, because some things that men say are off, and you have to be able to hear those things out so you can deem it that, but a lot of things need to be heard out and gone through before you take that action, because according to the scriptures, we have protocol. So we have to do things in order. We have to handle a matter with wisdom. So again, Sirach 6:35, be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee. So you always got to have that active understanding going on in your mind, not leaning on your own understanding. It's the book of Matthew chapter 7:24. It reads, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I would liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. So we have to keep, thus said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in mind. That's what we lean on. That's how we judge a matter. That's how we deal in each and every given matter. And that's how we're going to be deemed wise if we're doing so. You're going to be considered to be built upon a firm foundation. And you're going to be able to judge correctly. So it's the book of James chapter 1 and verse 19. And it says, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear. You want to be swift to hear. Because if you can't hear, if you choose not to hear, how you're not going to be able to deal in matters and situations in a wise manner, what you're commanded to do. So again, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. You don't just write brothers off without taking your time to actually hear the matter, taking your time to actually thoroughly look through what's being said. If after you do so and it's deemed unworthy to write a brother off, do so by all means, But before then, we have to be ready to hear. That's a very, very important part within this ministry. It's hearing, man. So we go back to the Proverbs 16:20 and close out. It says, he that handleth a matter wisely shall find good. And a large portion of you handling matters, and a lot of times is going to come down to how well you're able to hear that matter. So he that handleth a matter wisely shall find good. And when you do so, you're actually going to be put in good stance, in good standing. And whoso trusted in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, happy is he. That's what's going to lead you ultimately into everything that your heart desires. You being in line, you moving accordingly, is what's going to allow you to actually proceed in this truth, to endure in this truth until those chariots come, so we can get beamed up and we can get out of here, man. So I'm just going to say, Lord will, you are edified. Call halal Yahweh, Wa Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakak Wadash. Shalom.